Duscan Vlahovic to Manchester United. Why are we talking about this? Well, let me ask you a question straight off the bat here. Would you rather have Duscan Vlahovic than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jamie Vardy or Callum Wilson? Three players that The Athletic have said Manchester United have been offered as free agents. Dusan Vlahovic has joined that. Apparently, according to reports coming out, Juventus are looking to terminate the Serbian's 315 grand a week wage just to clear their books and bring another forward in, making Vlahovic, yes indeed, a free agent and able to be picked up for nothing. Of course, there are agents' fees, there are signing on fees, but Manchester United have an opportunity here. And what this would make Manchester United, I feel, look rather stupid in terms of how they approach this, and they have to be very careful. I'll explain what I mean now. This is Forever United TV, by the way. Welcome along to your midday updates. We're talking Vlahovic now because obviously the story's come out this morning. It's been reported from sources in Italy that Juventus want to terminate the contract of Dusan Vlahovic, the Serbian centre forward. He's on a mega box contract. He is willing to take a pay cut and drop down. He wants to come to the Premier League. The report actually says that he is negotiating with Juventus now to come to terms on how they terminate this deal. There'll be a payout, obviously, but it won't be to the sum of what he's owed in terms of the amount of money he's paid each week in his contract. That's what's being said. Also, in that, the report says that Manchester United are one of the clubs that he wants to go to. He is hoping and wants to prove himself in the Premier League and hoping that Manchester United, with his availability being very, very clear now and easy, that Manchester United pounce for him and come in for Vlahovic himself. He is willing to go to United, and it has been said he is willing to take a pay cut for him to come in. What would Manchester United spend on him? Now, we've heard reports about the other three English forwards in Callum Wilson, Vardy and Calvert-Lewin coming to Manchester United potentially at the end of the window. I'm sorry. Now, there is Prem proven, yes, and all three of them are Prem proven. Prem proven in being crap the last 3 years in Calvert-Lewin. Prem proven in never being available in the last few years in Callum Wilson. And Vardy's 38. Like, do we need to even go there? Vlahovic is 25. And on free transfer, yes, indeed, I would take him. You must be mad to turn that down. As long as the contract is obviously, let's just call it for Manchester United, affordable. That's where United need to be. It has to fit into their budget. So put it all together, what will Vlahovic cost? It could be upwards of around about 15 million. It's not going to be a free. There is a signing on fee and there is an agent's fee that's going to come into play here for this one. And obviously, Vlahovic is only too happy to end his contract at Juventus because, yeah, he may take a lesser sum out of what he is actually owed in negotiations, and people will say, "You're mad. Stick around and actually get that contract paid out and earn a fortune because no one else is going to pay you that." But what people are not recognising here is Dusan Vlahovic would probably earn more money in his sign-on fee as a free agent than he would staying at Juventus earning that amount of money. So he's probably all too willing to drop out of this contract, take a small minimal fee out of it, and then go and sign a big sign-on fee for Manchester United or whoever it is. He wants to go to the Prem. Another player that's destined for the Premier League in Dusan Vlahovic. Will United jump at it? Now, we've heard that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's wages are quite high as well. He's going to demand a sign-on fee and wages. So what's worth it more? A player that is going to be on substantial wages, and I think when you look at it, you look at an experienced player, and I'll use Matthias de Ligt as an example here. Very experienced at the highest level, and you cannot argue that. World Cups, European Championships, Champions League, Serie A, all at the highest level continuously, year in, year out. That's Dusan Vlahovic. You can argue his quality if you want, and what he is and what he might bring, but when you're comparing him to the others, I'm sorry, if there's 4 free agents on the market right now, and you're looking at them 4 in particular, Vlahovic, Calvert-Lewin, Wilson and Vardy, there's only Dusan Vlahovic that I would take. But you tell me in the comment section, would you take Vlahovic on a free transfer over all of the other 3? Is Prem proven quality enough to push Manchester United away from Vlahovic and go for one of the other 3? I honestly don't think that's the right way to go. And let's not forget, as a free agent, yes, there's the sign-on fees, agent fees and everything. It's a minimal transaction for Manchester United. And he would be a player then that would see us through this season as an option alongside Rasmus Højlund, Chido Obi and Joshua Zirkzee. Plenty of depth there. It just means that Rasmus Højlund can come in and play and learn and get better and maybe be a bit worth a bit more to Manchester United at the end of the season, I think. But what this also means is, obviously, Manchester United can then go out and buy another striker next summer if we need to. He's a free agent if this transaction goes through and it is terminated. 315 grand a week he's on. I'm not surprised that Juve want rid of him, but that's where this deal is at. And it is a genuine thing that is being discussed right now. So the question is, Vlahovic on a free, is that enough? We have talked about it before, and this story has come about and the rumour has been circulating, but now it seems to be getting a bit more traction. And people have actually said, yeah, I would take him on a free agent. I think this is now because we have been scared by the stories coming out about Calvert-Lewin, Vardy and Callum Wilson. Like, nobody wants Calvert-Lewin. Honestly, if we got Calvert-Lewin and we didn't take Vlahovic and he was a free, I would do my nut. I'd be looking at Ineos thinking, what the hell are you actually thinking right now here? This is a more experienced and proven goal scorer at the highest level than Calvert-Lewin ever was. And you can talk about the Premier League all you want. This is just my opinion all the way through here, but obviously get your comments in below and let me know what you think. Is he worth it on a free agent? His wages, like I was just saying then, he's probably going to be on something similar to what Matthias de Ligt is, about 190 grand with him being a proven player. I'm just guessing at that, of course, but that's where I would use the example. But that's the story going around. Vlahovic, terminated contract, now a free agent. Not confirmed yet, not over the line yet, and isn't available as a free yet. But that's the story going around. Are Juventus pushing Vlahovic to this point to bring in someone like Sancho and then saying to Manchester United, we'll make Vlahovic available for free and condition for you taking him and obviously us doing this deal with Jadon Sancho? I don't know if things have been spoken about behind the scenes. You never know. You never know. That's one conspiracy you could sort of look into and say that that's where Manchester United's conversations with Juventus have been going. Obviously, if we're talking to him about Sancho, then we're clearly talking to him about Vlahovic as well, because United need a striker. And I don't know, is the honest answer, if he fits what Ruben wants. I'm not fully convinced, but on a free, over the other three, 100%, I would definitely take Dusan Vlahovic. That's where I'm at with that one. In other news on Manchester United and what's going on today, you would have heard it's not good news for United if you thought that we were going to buy Richard Rios. Now, quality player, obviously has shone in the Club World Cup as well. And we've been talking about it a while. Alfredo Padulov, agent and journalist, has been talking about him being a top target for United. It now looks like that is off the table and he's heading to Roma. Advanced stages now in communications and negotiations with Palmeiras and Roma. It looks like Rios is heading to Italy. And again, like, why is nobody else in for Richard Rios? Is he not that good? Are we all just getting carried away with this kid or something? Why is it only Roma? And like, no disrespect to Roma, but they're not one of what you would call the big guns out there, are they, right now? So what's going on with that? Is this something that we're all missing? But Rios going for 30 million. A lot of United fans would say we've missed a chance there. That's a cheap midfielder that could have done us again at 25 in his prime. Done us. I mean, if he's going to Roma, he would have easily come to United. That's all people are going to say. Why are we not on that? Again, I just don't think United have got the money to bid right now, which is why it's important that we get this Jadon Sancho deal over the line and get some money in so we can start buying these players in. Obviously, we've heard the news from Fabrizio Romano as well about Alvaro Carreras Fernandez now definitely going to Real Madrid. That's going to bring in approximately 8 to 9 million for Manchester United. So good news there again in terms of money coming in. But that's only going to add to the questions that the fans are asking again, which is why are we not in for Richard Rios? Now, you're looking at other midfield options. Manchester United have obviously been linked with Aidan Hackney of Middlesbrough. Everton have now joined a long list of other Premier League clubs that are now negotiating with Middlesbrough to sign the young midfielder. So that looks like another midfield target that is going to go by the by for Manchester United. Are we looking here at United not taking advantage of good options in the window for a midfielder? Or is there something planned behind the scenes we don't know about? Is there a Douglas Luiz? Is there an Edison on the agenda here for Manchester United and could actually come about being a Manchester United player this summer? We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But your top story this lunchtime, let me know what you think, everybody. Dusan Vlahovic, if that contract is terminated, do you take him on a free agent? When you're comparing him to the rest, I think it's a no-brainer. And I think that might be where we're clouding our judgment a little bit. Just to balance the argument out, if there was the only striker that we were looking at right now, it might be a different debate. But when you compare him to the other three, and the Athletic saying that we are actually thinking about them other three towards the back end of the window, we don't get our targets, surely Vlahovic has got to be in there. Let me know what you think everywhere. Let me know what you think either way, everybody, anyway, on that one. Obviously, I am flying out tonight, so for anybody who's looking for the content, it may be a bit different. I will get stuff out if anything does break later on this evening. So please pile your comments into this video just in case we don't get a chance to put anything out later on. I'll keep you updated on YouTube, of course, and if anything does break, I'll bring you the news as I can, of course. But while I'm in the air, obviously, it's impossible. So that is your update for today, everybody, at midday. Please do get your comments in below. Give this video a like. Check out the other content on your screen while hitting that subscribe button. Almost at the 90k mark, everybody. We are literally just about 321, I think I make it out, away from hitting that 90k. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us massively. And of course, if you love the content, just pop a like on it. Completely free. I'll see you in the next video, wherever I am. You'll see.